I trusted him completely. Not the kind of trust you give easily, the kind you build slowly, day by day, after watching someone prove themselves again and again. If someone had warned me back then, I would have laughed. If they told me he was hiding something, I would have defended him. If they said my loyalty would one day be used against me, I would have called them bitter. Because in my world, he was safe. He was the calm voice when everything felt loud, the person I ran to when life became heavy, the one who promised again and again that he would never betray me. And I believed him. That's the dangerous part of trust. You don't feel it breaking when it starts. You only feel it once it's already shattered. The night I found out the truth, nothing exploded. No shouting, no dramatic confrontation, just silence. And sometimes, silence is louder than any scream. That was the moment my old life ended, and a new version of me quietly began. We didn't start perfectly. Our connection grew slowly, naturally, like something real. We shared late conversations that stretched into early mornings. We talked about dreams, fears, plans we hadn't told anyone else. He listened. That mattered to me. In a world where people wait for their turn to speak, he actually heard me. Or at least, that's what I thought. I trusted him with my thoughts, my weaknesses, my past. I showed him parts of myself I usually kept hidden, and he did the same, or so it seemed. He told me stories that made him look honest, moments where he claimed he'd been hurt before, promises that sounded too sincere to question. "You don't have to worry," he once said. "I'm not like that." Those words stayed with me. They became my shield whenever doubt tried to creep in. Whenever something felt slightly off, I ignored it. Because when you care deeply, your mind protects the lie. The first sign wasn't dramatic. It never is. It was a delay in replies, a sudden change in tone, short answers where long ones used to live. I noticed, but I explained it away. He's busy, he's stressed. Everyone goes through phases. That's what I told myself. Then came the small inconsistencies, stories that didn't line up perfectly, details that shifted when repeated. Nothing big enough to accuse, nothing clear enough to confront, just enough to make my stomach tighten. Still, I stayed quiet, because asking questions can feel like betrayal when you love someone, and I didn't want to be that person. I chose trust over instinct. That choice would cost me more than I knew. The night everything changed wasn't special. No argument, no warning, just a feeling. Something inside me felt heavy, uneasy, like I was standing on ground that looked solid but wasn't. I reread old messages, listened to old voice notes, paid attention to things I had once ignored. Patterns started forming, and patterns don't lie. The realization didn't hit all at once. It came in waves, slow, painful waves that refused to stop. I wasn't looking for proof. I was looking for peace. Instead, I found doubt. I found out by accident, not through spying, not through confrontation. Someone else said something they weren't supposed to. A simple sentence, a careless detail, and suddenly everything clicked. My heart didn't race, it sank, because deep down I already knew. The betrayal wasn't just about what he did, it was about how long he'd been hiding it, how carefully he'd smiled while lying straight to my face. He had been living two versions of himself, and I only knew one. I felt foolish. Not weak, foolish. That hurt more. I didn't confront him right away. I watched, I listened, I let him talk, and with every word he exposed himself further. That was the moment I understood something important. Revenge doesn't need noise, it needs patience. Anger wanted me to react, pain wanted me to cry, but I stayed calm, because calm scares liars more than rage ever will. The plan I never spoke aloud. I didn't plan revenge the way movies show it. No dramatic speeches, no public scenes. I planned it quietly. I pulled back emotionally, stopped giving more than I received, let him feel the distance without explaining it, and he noticed. That's when the questions started, the sudden concern, the fake care. I gave him nothing, because the moment someone realizes they're losing control, that's when they reveal their true face. He tried to fix things without admitting anything. Promises returned, attention increased, sudden affection, but it felt hollow. I saw through it now. The power had shifted, and he felt it. People who betray don't fear consequences, they fear exposure, and I held the truth quietly in my hands. When I finally spoke, my voice didn't shake. I didn't accuse, I didn't yell, I simply stated facts. The silence after was long. He denied at first, then deflected, then minimized. That's when I knew I'd already won, because honesty doesn't need defense. I didn't ask for apologies, I didn't beg for explanations. I walked away emotionally before I walked away physically. That confused him more than anger ever could. He lost access to me, and that was the consequence he never expected. My revenge wasn't destruction, it was absence. I stopped explaining myself, stopped seeking closure, stopped caring about his version of the story. I moved forward, and nothing hurts someone who betrayed you more than watching you rise without them. Healing wasn't instant. Some nights were heavy, some memories lingered, but I learned something powerful. Betrayal doesn't break you, it reveals you. Trust is precious, but blind trust is dangerous. Never ignore patterns to protect feelings. Never silence your instincts to keep peace. And remember this, the strongest revenge isn't payback, it's becoming untouchable by the person who tried to break you. Because when someone loses access to you, that's when the story truly ends.